Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Steffy gets revenge on Hope and Carter Halloween style. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McKinswood, is determined to get revenge on some people at Forrester Creations. Who is on Steffy's trick instead of treatless this year? What evil may befall those who have betrayed her? The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Steffy is about to unleash some Halloween horror of her own on October 31. Steffy feels she has been blindsided, she has been manipulated, and she has had enough. Hope Logan, Annika Noel, just does not know when to stop, and she will set of a shocking chain reaction. Hope will screw up and set Steffy off, which could lead to Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, coming to her rescue and paying the ultimate price in the end. Steffy is going to connect the dots and will likely assume that Hope is manipulating Carter into supporting her because he is attracted to her, and that is not good for business. Steffy will no doubt confront Hope about her suspicions and point out that Carter is supporting her for the wrong reasons. Of course, Hope will make some smart remark that sets Steffy off even more. Steffy will do something as CEO that will affect the whole company. Will Steffy end Hope's line or fire Carter, or maybe both? Cutting Hope for the future just doesn't sound like it would be enough to get Steffy's point across. Carter has crossed that line, and Steffy may be determined to fire him because of it. After all, Carter's attraction to Hope is what has him pushing for Hope for the future, and it isn't like Hope asked him to start backing her line. Hope may be completely shocked when Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., backs up Steffy on this decision because he has to look at the good of the company. All of this seems to lead to a big power switch at Forrester that could really shake things up. It could certainly be interesting to see how this plays out. Ridge may move himself to the doghouse very quickly, but he could decide to agree with Steffy on firing Carter and kill Hope's line as well. Whatever the case, Steffy is determined to get payback, and she's not above using her spot as co-CEO to make that happen. It certainly may come down to who is on the chopping block, and maybe two for the price of one. In the winding halls of Forrester Creations, the Halloween spirit had woven itself into every corner. Dark, velvet drapes adorned the entryways, and cobwebs hung from the chandeliers, casting eerie shadows on the luxurious fabrics and patterns displayed throughout the showroom. This year, Forrester was pulling out all the stops, hosting a grand Halloween gala to showcase its new seasonal line. Everyone was invited, though some knew that the night's real drama wouldn't come from the costumes or cocktails, but from the secrets they carried. For Steffy Forrester, Halloween was more than just a fun distraction. It was the perfect opportunity for revenge. After months of dealing with Hope Logan's flirtations with her ex, Liam, Steffy had finally reached her limit. Though she tried to ignore it, she couldn't deny the tension between Hope and her husband, Carter Walton, who had also recently become close to Hope. It was clear to Steffy that Hope's interests went far beyond their innocent, creative partnership at the office, and Steffy knew just how to use the night to her advantage. Steffy's plan was bold, calculated, and wickedly clever. She knew Carter's weakness for her charm. Despite their tangled romantic histories and current relationships, there was a magnetism between them that had always lingered. Her plan would exploit that weakness and place her one step ahead of Hope, ensuring that both Carter and Hope would get caught in her carefully spun web. The night of the gala, Steffy arrived in a midnight black gown that shimmered under the dim lights, blending elegance with an edge of danger. She wore a mask adorned with feathers and jewels, which cast mysterious shadows over her piercing gaze. She had chosen her attire with purpose. It was the embodiment of power and seduction. She knew every eye would be on her, including Carter's. Across the room, Hope was the picture of innocence. Dressed as a beautiful angel in flowing white satin and delicate wings, her blonde hair cascaded down her back. Her eyes sparkled as she mingled with the guests, her smile enchanting and demure. But to Steffi, it was all part of the facade. Tonight, Steffi was determined to peel back that innocence, to expose Hope's hypocrisy for the entire room to see. Steffi's plan went into action with the arrival of her unexpected accomplice, Thomas Forrester. They hadn't always seen eye to eye, but tonight, Thomas was more than willing to help his sister get her revenge. After all, he harbored his own resentment toward Hope and was ready to see her taken down a notch. As he stepped into the gala, dressed as a sinister magician, he caught Steffi's eye from across the room and gave her a subtle nod. They were ready. The first part of the plan was simple: make Carter jealous. Thomas made his way over to Hope, casting a charming, mischievous smile her way. "Hope," he greeted, slipping his arm around her waist. "I must say, your costume suits you." His voice was low, his touch lingering a bit longer than necessary. Hope looked up at him, slightly caught off guard, but soon melted into his charm. Across the room, Steffi leaned into Carter, whispering in his ear with a devilish smile. "Carter, I thought you said tonight was supposed to be fun. Where's that playful side I know?" Her hand lingered on his arm, and he couldn't help but be drawn in by her closeness. She spoke softly, her voice smooth as silk. "You've been avoiding me lately. Is there something wrong?" Carter glanced at Hope, who seemed perfectly content in Thomas's company, her laughter carrying across the room. A flicker of jealousy crossed his face before he turned back to Steffi. "Nothing's wrong, Steffi. Maybe I'm a little surprised to see you tonight. You look breathtaking." "Only tonight?" she teased, her eyes sparkling behind her mask. "Come on, Carter, I thought we were closer than that." She placed a hand on his chest, her gaze intense. "I need a favor, Carter. Just a little fun. Dance with me." Carter hesitated, glancing over at Hope once more. She was now leaning in closer to Thomas, their conversation clearly intimate. A mix of jealousy and intrigue took hold of Carter as he nodded, accepting Steffi's hand and leading her to the dance floor. The room watched as Steffi and Carter moved gracefully to the slow, haunting melody that filled the air. Steffi could feel Hope's eyes on them, and she reveled in every second of it. The dance was hypnotic, each movement calculated as she pressed closer to Carter, whispering sweet nothings and smiling just enough to make Hope seethe. Then Thomas stepped in, taking Hope by the hand and twirling her onto the dance floor. They moved in sync with the music, and soon the two couples were facing each other, the tension between them thick as fog. The perfect opportunity to spring her trap. Leaning closer to Carter, Steffi whispered, "I've heard the rumors you know. About you and Hope." She paused, watching his reaction carefully. "Don't worry, I'm not judging. If anything, I understand why you'd be drawn to her. But just between us, do you ever feel like she's just playing a part?" Carter looked at her, his brow furrowing in confusion. "What are you talking about, Steffi?" "Just think about it," she replied smoothly, her gaze cutting across to where Thomas and Hope were dancing. "Sometimes the people who seem the most innocent have the biggest secrets. Maybe she's keeping things from you, from all of us." Carter's jaw tightened, his eyes narrowing. But Steffi didn't give him a chance to respond before she slipped away, letting him stew on her words as he watched Hope laugh with Thomas. The seeds of doubt were planted. As the night wore on, Steffi's plan continued to unfold. At one point, she saw Carter corner Hope in a secluded area of the room, his expression tense as he questioned her about her closeness with Thomas. Hope looked taken aback, her innocent demeanor fading as she struggled to explain herself. And when Thomas joined them, his presence only fueled Carter's suspicion further. Finally, Steffi made her grand move. She had arranged for a special announcement during the night, one that would seal Hope's fate. Standing on the stage, Steffi raised a glass and tapped it lightly, gaining everyone's attention. "Thank you all for being here tonight," she began, her voice carrying an edge of mystery. "This Halloween, we celebrate more than just our latest line. We celebrate truth and honesty, the backbone of Forrester Creations." Her gaze fell on Hope, whose face paled as she sensed what was coming. "Sometimes the people we think we know the best are hiding secrets," Steffi continued. "And those secrets have a way of coming to light." Hope looked to Carter, a flicker of panic in her eyes, but it was too late. Steffi had orchestrated the perfect moment, exposing Hope's flirtations and Carter's jealousy for all to see. The night ended with Carter storming out, Hope left in the center of a crowd that no longer looked at her with admiration, but with curiosity and suspicion. And as the crowd dispersed, Steffi allowed herself a smile, the kind that only the victor of a long-fought battle could wear. This Halloween, she had gotten her revenge, and it had been delicious.